Hey guys, so today's video is going to be about ableist slurs because as a disabled person, this is something that really bothers me. There's some words that are so deeply embedded in our daily vocabulary that we forget or maybe don't even realize that they're offensive. So through this video, I want to point out just a couple ableist slurs and how they've impacted me. And if you use these words, hopefully this video will inspire you to cut them out of your vocabulary. So what is an ableist slur? The two big ones that I've heard several times in my life are the words cripple and gimp. So let's focus on why each one is offensive. I actually came upon the word gimp fairly recently. A little over a year ago, one of my closest friends injured her hip and had to wear a leg brace, as well as underarm crutches, for a few months. And around that time, I noticed that some of her friends had nicknamed her Gimp and Gimpy. My friend didn't mind at all, and she allowed them to call her by that nickname, but I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that I got whenever I heard that word. There was something about the word being used on her, or just being used in general, that made me really uncomfortable. I don't know if it was because they were using a word on her that could possibly be used to describe me, except that our conditions were nothing alike. I'm not sure, but either way, it didn't feel right coming out of the mouths of abled people. And anyway, cripple and gimp are both very derogatory words that are so incredibly offensive to disabled people because they can be used to hurt them, so they just shouldn't be used. On top of that, a lot of disabled people get triggered by those words, maybe because of traumatic encounters in the past or whatever, so people need to just give them the benefit of the doubt and just not use those words at all. The first time I heard the word cripple was in the movie A Christmas Carol, based on a book by Charles Dickens, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen. So, that term was used to describe Tiny Tim, who was a young boy who was dying of an illness and required a crutch to move around. Ever since then, the word cripple had a very negative connotation to it, and I had a sense that the word meant somebody who would never ever be able to walk ever again. This leads me to the issue that I, as well as many other people within the disabled community, have with using the word crippling as an adjective. The most common phrase that I've heard is crippling anxiety or depression. No matter how severe a person's anxiety or depression might be, it is in no way crippling. Even though depression and anxiety can make it really difficult for a person to do daily tasks, including simply getting out of bed in the morning, it doesn't physically confine them to a wheelchair or crutches. It in no way leaves them in the same condition as somebody who is physically disabled or crippled. It's honestly just so difficult to explain this to able people, but it's offensive and it's hurtful, and that should be enough of a reason for people to not use those words. And I actually have a real life example of that. So a few years after watching the movie, the word cripple came back up in my life. I just want to say I've never been bullied in any way due to my disability ever, which is something that I'm really, really thankful for. However, I have experienced ableism, and I'm going to give you an example, but I'm going to be very vague about it. So one day, I found myself being classified under the cripple category, and that classification had no hurtful intention or cruel intention behind it, so it wasn't bullying. However, I was reminded of Tiny Tim from the movie, as well as that negative connotation and that negative feeling I had with the word cripple. Although there is no way for me to know if I'll ever be able to walk without the use of my crutches, that has always been not only the hope, but the goal for me. And by being classified under the term cripple, I felt as if that hope was being taken away from me. I felt as though I was being told, hey, you know, you're actually never going to be able to walk. And that's something I refuse to accept to this day, unless that's something my doctor says. Especially when coming from an able person who knows nothing about my condition. And you know what? Maybe I won't be able to walk. Okay, fine, but nobody's allowed to tell me that. No one's allowed to tell me what they think my fate is going to be. They don't know me, they don't know what I've been through, they don't know how hard I work every single day. They don't know anything about my physical capabilities. Yes, I'm disabled. Yes, I'm limited in a lot of things that I do. But I've also been able to do things that I never thought would be physically possible. I've grown and I've come a really long way and I've gotten a lot stronger. So no one has the right to use that word to refer to any disabled person, because if you do, you're diminishing all their physical accomplishments and growth and basically saying, so what? In my eyes, you're still disabled. And we're so much more than that. We're so much more than that word, and we shouldn't just be seen as disabled. That brings me to my next video, which will be up next. So thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think of this video in the comment section below. And if you found this video interesting and want to know more, stay tuned for more videos and check out my blog. The link will be in my description. Bye!